Welcome back everyone to another ultimate timing video. Today we're going to get into some nitty-gritty awesome stuff here, which I'm excited to show you all finally. First, we're going to start in our driver registry, or the driver database, for track owners. Here you're going to be able to see a list of all the drivers that have kind of signed up for a race or have attended your track at one point in time. There's a lot to go through. There's going to be a lot of great stuff here. So first and foremost, you can sort all the drivers by alphabetical inverse order. There is a lap activity tracker to show how many laps counted for both practice, qualifying, and mains. So it sums up how many laps they've turned in at total on your track. So that updates, and you can sort that by the driver's activity, and so that you're going to be able to see, hey, this person's been coming a lot to the track. Maybe I need to show them a bit more love, or be like shout them out or something like that. Or you can maybe even correlate how often they're driving, how many laps they're putting down, to how many wins that they're achieving. Which is something else you're going to be able to look at. Here you'll be able to see their podiums and their wins tracked here as well. And then you can always edit, delete specific drivers. So we're going to look at Josh here. You can update driver photo, their name, their make and model of car, the transponder number, and their class that they're running in. You can add additional cars as well, delete out cars if you so need to, and then make that save. So this is going to be great. We went over in a previous video about race day setup, where you can add a driver directly from the heat creation. So that's basically what similar process is for that. So we go back to that drivers list here. So that's the add driver. And then something that's going to be really special. So if we go back to down here in switching mode, because we have driver and a track owner mode, a driver can specifically only have, they're only a racer and that's it. But if, let's say, someone buys their own track, they can activate track owner mode, which then gives them ability to run timing for themselves. But anyways, drivers have their own profile. And this is something I want to talk about and that I'm most excited that I've implemented here. Drivers have their own track profile. This track profile represents a lot of great things, such as how many races they've entered, their wins, their garage in terms of what cars they own. But this right here, this QR code driver ID, this is something that track owners will be able to scan or copy that driver ID and in their driver registry, add a driver and import the driver with their ID code. What this does is it imports all of that driver's information, their name, their car, the model, the class that they're going to be driving, and then the transponder number. This is going to simplify the process for driver registry for events. This will also make just that whole process seamless. Any change that the driver does on their end, so if, let's say, they get rid of a car, they change a transponder in the car, whatnot, that automatically syncs with the track. So that means the track doesn't have to go back and update and make these changes. It already reflects. Now, of course, a track can edit that imported profile. Let's say the day of the race they have an issue with their car, they need to put a different car or something like that. Then the track can make those changes, but these changes will only reflect locally. This won't sync back to that specific driver on their end. Obviously, you can change their photo, for example. That's something that's going to be possible. This will, again, only reflect locally. So basically, this means, so if, let's say, someone showed up to your track, they didn't know what their transponder number is, well, then at that point, you can do one or two things. You can create the driver here, adding the transponder number, or you can relay that information to the racer. They can go in, add their car, they can then specify the transponder number, add it to their garage, share their profile, and then now the track owner has imported it and it syncs at that point. So yeah, so that is something that I wanted to simplify that whole process, and so I was able to achieve that through basically cloud syncing. Another aspect is tracks. So tracks have their own profile as well, similarly to drivers. There's a little bit different here. Every track obviously has their own rule sets that they follow, their own classes that they run. Some of them don't follow a specific organizational rule set. So basically we have the predominant rules that are out there, 20 SRA, PN World Champions, Kyosho Cup, and then you have option for custom. So a track, depending on the rule set, will automatically populate what classes are run there. Of course, a track can add a custom class that may not be within this list. So if let's say we wanted to run a novice class, these are beginner, this would be like 50% throttle mode for box stock cars. We can add that to the list and save, which then at that point, what would end up happening is when you go to create your race day, you'd be able to choose from all those classes, including the novice there as well. So I've put a lot of thought into this because I was debating what classes to incorporate, how to do that, but I still wanted the freedom for tracks to run how they wanted to. Custom, you can just go and create your own classes that you wanted and just kind of forego the rule set altogether. I've seen some tracks not basically do that as well. Porsche Cup has been becoming a popular thing and stuff like that. So that being said, that's the rule set. This also corresponds to the driver as well. So if a driver sees themselves as, hey, I like 20 SRA rules, that's the class I'm going to follow, I'm going to save that. And then if there's a specific car class maybe I run, you can also incorporate that. And then this class list follows that as well. So going back to the track profile, tracks have, like I said, their own profile, including the track name, track logo, information about the track access key, and this QR code. This is something that drivers will be able to scan on their end and import tracks that they visit often or they want to follow, sort of thing. And by doing so, you'll be able to view that track's timing, kind of like what Live RC does, but basically all within one place. Here you'll be able to go to that track's social media. You can favorite pin tracks and that you frequent often. For example, I'm going to actually work on incorporating a maps where you can the track can add their address, and then you can quickly navigate to that track from here. Like if you're on a mobile phone, Android or an iPhone, then you'll be able to just open the map, clicking a button, and it'll help you get there instead of having to worry about, I need to look up the track name on a map, go to their social media, click a link. It'll be easy to do that here. So you view it, and then you can view the timing of what's going on at the track. So this would be helpful, like you're at the track, you want to know kind of what's going on, where things are. You can view that by the track profile by adding the track to the driver's list of tracks that they favorite, and then track owners can incorporate their website if they want to and things, and that'll show up in their track profile for drivers. So this was something I wanted to incorporate, and I think this is kind of something that's game changing for the timing software, of being able to implement ease of use for both track owners and drivers. And that way drivers can focus on, hey, I just got rid of a car. I don't have to worry about now updating that to every single track I go to. You import it, and then every track that imports your profile will sync to what changes you make. So still working out a couple bugs here and there on a few things. But yeah, as we see, there's a synced option to indicate that it's synced with the cloud and whatnot. And I was able to also add different languages. So these are the 6 languages I've incorporated. If there's other languages I need to add, definitely let me know. I think I'm getting closer to releasing this for some testing, and this is something I just really wanted to show off, is the driver profile, track profile, and the driver registry workflow here. And yeah, so thank you everyone so much for your support, and if you guys have questions about anything or suggestions on what you'd like to see, let me know. Leave me a comment. So I'll see you all around. Thanks.